Hello Pisces, my name is Megan. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button, like and comment on this video if it just so happens to resonate with you. Today we're going to go ahead and do something a little different. We're going to take a look at anyone dealing with a past person. So the energies in your life that are past. This reading may be for you. My voice is a little hoarse this morning, so bear with me. We're shuffle. Alright, Pisces and their past person. What's going on? What are the energies? Temperance, you're trying to keep your cool and your wits about yourself. Some of you may be dealing with a Sagittarius. You're trying to keep your wits and your cool about yourself. Like I said, you are keeping a very, very close eye on somebody. Somebody who caused your nervous system to go on overload, either when it would begin or when it ended, or even in the middle of this connection. You constantly felt a feeling of your nervous system being on overdrive. Like, you know how that feeling, if any of you have ever had panic attacks or anxiety or any of that, I mean, that feeling's very prominent and it can take over our lives. It can take over our careers, our families, everything when we aren't able to regulate our nervous system. And I feel like this person was somebody, I'll pull more cards in a second. I feel like this was someone in your life, Pisces, who really sort of made you feel uneasy, made you feel a constant state of being in a panic attack, and that's never a healthy energy. Yeah, they could have made promises to come forward. Those promises never panned out. What else for Pisces in a past connection? You know, it always amazes me, just as a human being myself, how many people will make promises verbally and then not keep them. Now, I am born in the year of the dragon, and dragons, from what I've learned, are very loyal people. They're the most loyal sign. And it is very true. Like in relationships, anything like that, I view loyalness as one of the highest forms of integrity. So maybe it blows my mind just a little extra more than normal, but it blows my mind how many people out there just, their words don't line up with their actions, you know? It just blows my mind. Anyways, if you are wondering if there are things in this connection that you're not seeing and you're feeling stuck, yes, there are things you're not seeing, and right below that we have the Seven of Swords. You're dealing with somebody who is shady. So essentially, Pisces, those nervous system hits that you're feeling on your nervous system, those hits you're feeling on your nervous system are coming directly from this past energy that has, for some of you, made its way back into your life, or for others of you, it's like you're still dealing with a little bit of PTSD or the fallout from this connection. They kept you stuck. They kept things from you, visually hidden, but also like verbally or like energetically. They kept things hidden from you, and it made you feel stuck, and that caused a lot of anxiety. But it's like, either way though, you're feeling restless, you're still keeping an eye on this person, and I get that. Even when someone hurts us, you'd think it'd be human nature when someone hurts us or causes, anxiety like that. It'd be human nature for us to walk away. But a lot of times the human psyche, it can draw us in more for whatever reason. I myself, I love to learn things. I myself am still to this day trying to figure out those dynamics. But yes, your nervous system essentially was spot on with this person. You felt that uneasy feeling in your heart and your soul for a reason. There were things that you were not seeing, and there was a definite reason you felt stuck here. Wow, right below that, Seven of Cups. Many of you may be a life path 7 or born on a 7-day in numerology. 7 in numerology speaks a lot to spirituality, so that's probably why you're watching this. I digress. This person with the Seven of Swords here, 8 of Swords, so there were things you were not seeing. You were trapped, you felt stuck within this, but then again, it's like you couldn't let go, and it's because this person was manipulating you. And manipulators love any sort of prey that they can have right in the middle as their source of validation, as their source of anything. Manipulators love that, right? Because then they don't have to treat you right. They know you'll always be there, but they won't go too far, or they'll still stay there. It's just a really complicated dynamic, especially with this person. Right, Seven of Swords tells me this person is no stranger to betraying other people for the sake of, like I said, validation. Their own validation, getting their own needs met, You know, Pisces has needs. What? They don't exist. It's me. I need to get my needs met through being a POS and having a lot of options. Seven of Cups always speaks to me of, you know, all readers read it differently. It always speaks to me as sort of having a multitude of options. And this person looks like your intuition was spot on. Not only did they have the options here that your nervous system was picking up on, not only was that the case, it was also the case that they were keeping it from you. Look at this guy. He's holding all those swords, looking back like, did anyone see that? You know? And it's like they got some kind of sick, guilty pleasure out of betraying you and getting away with it and keeping you stuck. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw the Devil card pop out soon. Some of you may have been dealing with an Emperor. An unhealed, not an Emperor, an Aries. An unhealed one, possibly. An Aries who loves that control but isn't really willing to understand another's perspective. And there's positives and negatives to all signs out there. That's just Aries tends to be a little more self-focused, right? Libra is the direct opposite of Aries. Libra is more we-focused. It's all about connection, that harmony, those relations. And Aries is a direct opposite sign. And the Libra, right, that has its downfalls too. People-pleasing, going with the flow too much when we should be speaking up, that has its downfalls too. But then Aries, the direct opposite of Leo, they tend to be a little more self-focused. So that's kind of why I say maybe you are dealing with an Aries for some of you. How's this person feeling about Pisces at the deepest level at the current moment? Three of Cups reversed, King of Swords. This person is somebody who, how do I say this? They understand they may have a reputation for having third-party energy, but it's somebody who doesn't care. It's somebody who feels powerful when they have a multitude of options. Now, why would having a lot of options make someone feel powerful? Because this person is intrinsically insecure. Insecure people who lack self-confidence, self-worth within themselves, they're always seeking validation elsewhere. So this is somebody who it makes them feel very powerful to engage with other options. This could be somebody who likes to party, go out and drink, and really sort of explore that life, that single life. But this is a past person reading. So for many of you, like I said, you're still dealing with the fallout of, quite frankly, dealing with someone with narcissistic tendencies. And I don't say that lightly. It's all over here, right? They wanted to keep you as a source of validation and comfort, yet they're off doing God knows what with God knows who. And Pisces, quite frankly, at the end of the day, you deserve so much more than that. I'm also getting this is somebody who could have had a multitude of options, but then they would like gaslight you. Like they would get in this power trip energy and like blame you somehow. Like this ending was your fault. Like maybe you caught onto their ways and you started questioning it, and then they were like, I'm not going to deal with this, and they bounced or something for a couple of you at least. This is somebody who has a lot of healing to do. We'll just say that. But it's somebody who gets a power trip, an ego boost from entertaining multiple options, not ever really truly caring about anyone's feelings in the process. And that speaks directly to narcissistic tendencies. I don't like to throw the word around narcissist too much, just because it's thrown around so much in today's society. And we're all human. We all have a little bit of that ego brain in us. It's how we function as humans. As we go through spiritual awakening, as we grow as people, go through life lessons, that ego lessons, and again, the spiritual awakening, becoming more spiritual, understanding why we're here, and we're here to help others ascend. You know, this person is nowhere near a high vibration like that. Like they ain't even in the ballpark, okay? You're dealing with somebody who vibrates that low. And they know it. And like I said, they love that power trip that comes from the third party energy. I do get that sometimes this person feels sad when they're alone, because they understand that none of these connections that they keep in rotation are real. But what they had with you was real. So it's like in those quiet moments, they'll definitely slip into like some anxiety, some fear. Did I lost the one? But it doesn't matter, because this person, at the end of the day, Pisces, you'll never be enough for this person, because what validates them is this, having other options. And quite frankly, even when what validates them even more is if they have someone solid and then they go out and explore other options. It makes them feel like they're getting away with something, and this is very much the energy of somebody who likes to get away with things. All right, how's Pisces feeling about this person at the deepest level? The High Priestess reverse. Yeah, this person, so Pisces, I've said this on this channel before, Pisces, you guys have one of the best intuitions in the zodiac, if not the best. Amazing intuitions. Any Pisces I've ever known, their intuitions are off the charts. I feel like this connection really makes you question your own intuition. And go back to that narcissistic talk. Narcissists have a way of gaslighting people into making them believe that their toxic behavior is your fault. That's a pro gaslighter right there. But I'm very much getting that you feel really disconnected from your intuition, but also your intuition screaming at you that this person's hiding something. And maybe it's a little bit in you, Pisces, of, and no detriment to you, I would do the same thing if I were in your shoes. Maybe you just don't want to believe what your intuition is telling you. I've been here recently, actually. My intuition was screaming at me. I did not want to hear it because it wasn't the outcome that I wanted. And sometimes that can be almost more hurtful than if I would have just listened to my intuition. You know what I mean? So in this instance, I know it feels like you're out of whack with your intuition, but it's there. Just make sure that you're listening to it when it comes to this person. You're dealing with somebody very manipulative, very hard to walk away from. What's the last piece of advice for Pisces? This person feels possessive over you, even though they're out exploring other options, filling their ego with these other options, they're still very possessive over you. And that could be where this gets a little bit more confusing. They could also care a lot about material things, speaking to that sense of not really being spiritually awake. I'm sensing that heavily in this person, that they're just not spiritually awake. They're in their ego. They love to have the options. They don't really care about others. And Pisces, at the end of the day, you do not want to be with somebody like that. At the end of the day, we have the Nine of Pentacles here. At the end of the day, you're healing from this currently still, but I am getting that you are going to have a much happier times going into the future. But it is all dependent on getting away from this energy, because they are lowering your vibration day by day. If you're in contact with them, if you're not, for some of you out there, you're maybe just thinking about this connection a lot recently. Maybe Mercury retrograde has something to do with that. I know this one's been a little tough for me personally, in my personal life. Whew, it's been a rough one. Yeah, I'm overall, Pisces, I'm just getting that you have so much abundance, and that doesn't just mean money. You have abundance in all areas of your life headed your way, but it is imperative that we always remove any people from our lives who have the energy of getting satisfaction out of being in control, being authoritative, and what makes them feel that way is just having like a lot of people around them at all times to make them feel good about themselves. You're dealing with somebody with very low self-esteem. And at the end of the day, this person has to find their own way to their self-esteem. It's not up to you, Pisces, to build their self-esteem. They have to figure out how to do it for themselves and get out of that toxic behavior. So trust your intuition, Pisces. It's usually spot on. That is what I have for you guys today. Go ahead and hit the subscribe button. And as always, I will see you guys next time.